Hey, what's going on YouTube? How's everybody doing? This is me welding a couple beads on a plate. Reason why I decided to make this video was because I just wanted to get a little bit of practice making some shots of me welding, and also to see how some of the stuff would kind of look on camera. This is a first for me. I'm not a YouTuber. I've never made a YouTube video before. I've never done a commentary on a video before. But it's something I've always kind of wanted to do, and I just bought all this welding equipment, so it kind of seemed like, this is about as good a time as any to go ahead and get started. Reason why I bought the welding equipment was because I wanted to practice a couple specific kinds of welding for a job that I was trying to get. I'm a pipe welder by trade. That's what I do. I've been doing that about 4 years now. I've had many jobs. I've worked in many places. I've worked in Washington, Florida, Texas, Virginia, Mississippi. But this last job I had was at a big shipyard, and we weren't really doing any butt welds or anything like that. So, for about the past year, I've just been welding sockets, weld bands, things of that nature. And the work is definitely challenging because everything's so restricted and tucked away. When you're welding on a ship, they have all these systems in place with all these pipes, but they have a very limited amount of space to put everything. So that aspect of the job is definitely challenging, but at the same time, socket welds, weld bands, stuff like that, it's pretty easy. So it's kind of like, it's a trade-off. Everything's in a hard spot, but it's also just a socket. This new job, it's going to all be butt welds. And so what they needed me to do for the weld test was 2 monster coupons, 1 combo, and the other one TIG all the way out, and then Schedule 10 stainless steel. Now, me being at this shipyard, I wasn't doing butt welds for the last year. I definitely, I know how to do it. I'm good at it, but I wasn't really comfortable just walking into a weld test of that caliber, having barely even touched a butt weld in the last year. And I was kind of like sneaking around on my job a little bit and kind of trying to find some scrap pipe and cut it up and purge it and weld it. And then, somebody would come and be like, hey, we need this thing welded. And I'd be like, all right, I understand. And I'd go do that. And I had about a week left before I was going to take my weld test. And I was just like, I need to practice. This is a serious, serious job. So I bit the bullet, went out there, spent a bunch of money on welding equipment, got everything I needed, practiced my ass off. In fact, I practiced instead of watching the Super Bowl. That's how badly I wanted it. And I took the weld test on Monday, got the job, everything's good, success. And now I just have all this welding equipment. I mean, I definitely wanted to have the welding equipment because I was definitely, there's stuff I want to do for sure. But the real catalyst for me buying all that stuff was because I wanted this job so bad. I'm so happy that I got it. I'm so excited. But now, everything's said and done. I did what I was trying to do. So now I'm kind of like, well, what am I going to do now? What's the next thing I'm going to do? And the next thing I'm going to do is make this little video for you guys to watch, and hopefully you guys enjoy. By the way, the reason why there's so much smoke coming off of that plate is because there's oil on the other side of the plate. Yeah, I was just lazy and cleaned one side and didn't really bother with the other side. But good news for you guys is that the next couple shots that I have, all that oil is burned away now. So we should be having some good stuff coming for you. Well, not that good. I mean, take it easy. I'm a novice. I mean, this is my first time ever filming myself welding like this. But it's a decent looking little bead there. I'm honestly kind of happy with it. The other ones that are coming up are not going to be as good as that. So, moving forward, that last shot that we did, by the way, that was on my GoPro. And this next shot is actually going to be filmed will have been filmed by my iPhone. And the reason why this one looks so much better as far as being able to see what I'm doing is because the iPhone has a really easy way of adjusting how much light is being let into the camera. And of course, there's so much light coming off of that arc. And what we would prefer is to have much less of it there. That way we can actually see what's happening. And it's not really where I'd like it to be in this shot, because you can kind of see what's happening here. You can kind of see what I'm doing. Like, for example, you can see that rod melting away, and you can see a little bit of that puddle on the very edge of that weld. And then, like, when I walk it back, you can kind of see it moving right there. But what I would really, really like is to get a shot where you can actually see the puddle in its entirety. And I'll get there for sure. I will get there. I think, there's one thing I haven't tried out yet, and that's actually just putting a welding lens on the camera. I might do that for the GoPro and see how that turns out. But I mean, that would require me to like jerry rig some stuff, duct tape and stuff like that. And I just really didn't feel like doing it this time. I wanted to see how it would turn out with just doing, just the naked lens. And by the way, all my videos are not going to be just videos of me welding beads on a plate. I really just wanted to get my feet wet with this, and also at the same time give a shot at giving a commentary on the video. By the way, this is my third take on the commentary. The first one, the problem was that I just said about 1,000 times. I'm trying to get better at that. I think it's working. Although I readily admit that I probably have said it more than a few times already. It's just going to be one of those things I'm going to have to get past. There I go again. It's funny. Sometimes when you're recording yourself, you start talking differently than you would normally talk. I don't think I say that much in real life, but I just don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe it's just, I don't hear it when I'm saying it. We'll see. So this is me walking the cup. It's a little awkward for me walking the cup like this because I'm a pipe welder. And when you're a pipe welder and you're walking the cup, there's nothing really in the way, because the entire time you're moving around the pipe is also curving away from you. So that's a little bit different. But when you're welding on a flat surface like this, it's kind of like, well, for me, a guy who's been welding pipe and nothing else for the last 4 years, I'm kind of like, where do I put the handle? So this is what I decided to do, just hold it upside down and walk it around. And, I think it's turning out pretty decent, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how this progresses in time as far as me filming stuff in my garage here. Oh yeah, by the way, I dragged up today. Yep, that's right. I dragged up. And I wasn't going to drag up. I was going to give them notice. I did give them notice, and that lasted about 3 days. I mean, I don't know if you guys can relate to this or not, but once you get a better job, you get a higher paying job, what's coming, and then just the littlest thing happens at work, and you're just like, why am I here? Why am I here when I'm about to be making so much more money somewhere else? I might as well just quit right now. And so that's more or less what happened to me last night. I was doing some work. There's another shot on the GoPro, by the way. I was doing some work, welding some big weld. I mean, it was going to be a whole day affair to get this thing done. So I hook everything up to a machine. The machine was pretty far away. That's another thing about working in a shipyard is all the machines are all going to be so far away from where you're working. And that's going to require you to run lines and lines and lines. Hopefully you can find some lines that have already been set up by somebody else and just kind of use them. But anyways, I got the machine hooked up. I was downstairs. I was working. I was having a good old time. And then my machine just cuts out. So I was like, okay, I know what's going on here. Someone's trying to take my machine. Now, why would they be trying to take my machine when there's like 8 other machines right next to it that aren't being used? Don't know, but it's time to go, take my machine back. Go upstairs, take my machine back. They had their stuff plugged in or whatever, and I unplugged it and put my stuff back in, went back downstairs, and I'm thinking, like, hopefully they just get it. Hopefully they're like, oh, okay, somebody was actually on it. Now I'm going to go with one of the other machines. But of course, me being so prideful, I'm not going to go to one of the other machines. I'm like, no, I was using this. This is mine. I'm not going to, secede this machine to somebody else. And so I go downstairs, start welding, start working. Everything's going good. About an hour later, my machine cuts out again. And I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. This person is trying to have a little contest with me, but I'm not trying to have it. So I run upstairs. I book it up there because I'm trying to catch this guy, and I do catch him. And I'm talking to him like, dude, why are you taking my machine? I was there first. Yada yada yada. He has his rebuttal. I don't even know what he was saying, but at the time I did, but at that point, when you're in the right because you were there first, it just goes in one ear and out the other. Anyways, I said some stuff. He said some stuff. It started escalating, and he started saying like, "You're not scaring me. I know. You ain't gonna fight me behind this. I bet I could whoop you." And I was just sitting there like, dude, what are we doing? Like, how are we up here right now talking about fighting each other when it's over a welding machine that you're stealing from me, when there's like 5 other machines right next to it, untouched, not even running. They work. I've used them. Anyways, I won the argument. I didn't have to fight him. I got my machine, but then I went downstairs and I'm just sitting there. I'm kind of heated, I'm kind of angry. And I'm just sitting there like, man, you know what? Fuck this job. I'm good on this. And I didn't drag up right then and there. I decided to early out, go home. Well, actually, what I did do was I went to the gym and kind of, consider what I was going to do next. And what I decided to do was to come back in the morning with a backpack to collect all my tools and let the foreman, who he's great, let the foreman know that I'm dragging. Said goodbye to everybody. It was a nice little. People were saying good stuff, good luck, and all that stuff, and I was really happy to have gotten that chance to see everybody before I left, because I was working on a really good crew, some really good people on that crew for sure. And now I'm here. I got about a week off before I start my new job, and I'm really happy about it. And now I get to do this little commentary on this video for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. This is another shot on my iPhone. I'm really going to I'm going to make some good stuff. I promise you. It's going to be some good stuff. I got to get some better equipment for it, though. Well, anyways, I'm going to shut this thing down. Hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.